They came from every corner of town just for a taste of Mama Kemi's Akara. Her stall, tucked humbly behind St. Teresa's church, was the morning's first pilgrimage for the rich, the poor, and everyone in between. Some whispered she used special beans, brought all the way from Kano. Others swore she prayed over the golden oil before it sizzled and spat. But no one, not a single soul, could truly explain why her Akara tasted like joy and smelled like a forgotten childhood memory mixed with a hint of heartbreak. Mama Kemi herself was a small woman, built like a bundle of brooms, but her eyes were sharp, missing nothing. She had a calm smile that could make you feel completely welcome, yet strangely uneasy at the same time. Long before the first rooster even thought about crowing, the warm glow of her fire would be painting the dawn. Her customers were a sight to behold. You'd see bankers in crisp shirts standing next to laborers, and even those fancy tinted cars would pull over, the occupants claiming they were just buying for the driver. We all knew better. But there was a peculiar thing about Mama Kemi that everyone noticed, though few dared to ask. For all the praise and all the cues, she never ever ate her own Akara. Not a single bite. One morning, a young girl named Aduke, who often helped her grind the beans, finally found the courage to ask. "Mama," she said, her voice soft, "your Akara is the best in the entire world. Why you no-day chop small for yourself?" Mama Kemi paused, her hands still in the bean paste. She looked at Aduke with a smile that seemed to hold 1,000 secrets. "My daughter," she replied, her voice like a gentle breeze, "some sweetness is not meant for the maker." Aduke chuckled, thinking it was just one of those cryptic old sayings the elders loved. But her curiosity had been sparked, and it refused to be put out. That very evening, as she was washing the large basins, her hand brushed against something cool and smooth under Mama Kemi's bench. It was a small gourd, no bigger than her fist, sealed tight with a strange black thread. When she lifted it, it was surprisingly cold, like water drawn from a well at dawn. Before she could inspect it further, a shadow fell over her. Mama Kemi was standing there, her usual smile gone. "Don't touch that again," she said, her voice low and firm. "It carries memory, not for young eyes." Aduki dropped the gourd with a start, her heart thumping against her ribs, but the mystery of it lingered in her mind long after the basins were cleaned and stacked. The business continued to thrive. It was as if Mama Kemi's Akara was getting more popular by the day. People began to say it wasn't just food, it was a dose of happiness. They claimed the taste of pure joy would linger on their tongues long after the last crumb was gone. Then came the night that changed everything for Aduke. She was walking home late when she saw Mama Kemi quietly leaving her stall, clutching that very same gourd. The full moon hung in the sky, looking like a silent accomplice, following the old woman as if it too wanted to know her secret. Aduke's curiosity got the better of her. She followed from a safe distance, her heart pounding a frantic rhythm like a pestle in a mortar. Mama Kemi walked until she reached a gnarled, ancient tree at the edge of the church grounds. There, she knelt. Aduke watched, hidden behind a bush, as Mama Kemi unsealed the gourd and poured a clear liquid into a small bowl. The old woman began to whisper, her words lost to the night, as if she were speaking to the wind itself. And then, the strangest thing happened. The wind seemed to answer her. A low, gentle, and profoundly sad humming sound filled the air, swirling around the old tree. The next morning, the crowd at Mama Kemi's stall was larger than ever. The Akara, they all declared, was unbelievably sweet, better than it had ever been. Aduke ate one, and the taste was indeed divine. But she couldn't shake the sound of that humming breeze from her mind. It was a melody of sorrow that clung to the sweetness. A few days later, the town awoke to a strange silence. The comforting glow from behind St. Teresa's church was missing. Mama Kemi's stall was closed. The murmurs started immediately. Some said she had finally gone to rest after a lifetime of hard work. Others, more solemnly, said her time had simply come. The days turned into weeks, and Mama Kemi never returned. The spot behind the church felt empty. The town missed its morning ritual, its taste of joy. Finally, Aduke couldn't bear it anymore. In honor of the woman who had taught her so much, she decided to reopen the stall. She scrubbed the wooden bench, bought the best beans from the market, and woke up before dawn, determined to do everything just as Mama Kemi had. As she prepared to light the fire, her eyes fell upon the small gourd sitting quietly under the bench, right where it had always been. She made a mental note to throw it away later. But as she began to mix the batter, a strange feeling came over her. Her hands moved with a grace and certainty that wasn't her own. They moved with the measured, knowing rhythm of Mama Kemi's hands. When she dropped the first spoonful of batter into the hot oil, the air instantly filled with that familiar, magical scent. That scent of childhood and bittersweet memories. By sunrise, a crowd had gathered, drawn by the irresistible aroma. They tasted the Akara, their faces lighting up with smiles. "It's just like Mama Kemi's," one person exclaimed. "No," another corrected, "it's even better." Duke smiled, a genuine happy smile, but then she glanced down. The small gourd under the bench was now open, and it was empty. Just then, a gentle breeze rustled the leaves of the old tree nearby. And carried on that breeze, Duke thought she heard a faint humming whisper, a voice that sounded like Mama Kemi's, saying, "Let them taste joy." Thank you so much for journeying with us through this story. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tales like this one. We'll see you in the next video.